Hello, beautiful people. It's Sindafam. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're back again with another video. Still on the Blake Lively and the Justin Baldoni situation. We're going to be checking this video, and it's quite interesting because lots of people are pretty much invested in this because something about this already from the beginning seemed messy. So, lots of people are sharing their thoughts. So, Candace Owens, I mean, if you don't follow Candace Owens or you didn't check her story, she shared some pretty interesting information that lots of people have already been saying or almost close to, but I'll let you listen in on this, and I also love your thoughts and your contribution in the comments below. Let's check it out.
Okay. So I was supposed to take it off yesterday. Then I realized that I kind of just gave everybody a free podcast on my Instagram account because I was just, I kept sharing the cat meme, like not the cat meme, it's the cat emoji. We're like, that's my favorite emoji where I'm like, and this has been me following the Blake Lively saga. And so I'm so sorry for those of you guys that don't like culture. My show is just a mix of everything. I'm into politics. I'm into culture. One day we're doing a deep dive on Kamala Harris. Next week we'll be into Emmanuel Macron. But I gotta this Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively thing is seizing me. And so a woman said today on Instagram, it is our Roman Empire. And this is it. It's our Roman Empire right now. So forgive me. I think I said 2 days ago I wasn't going to cover this again, but then I got intel. It was me. I got amazing intel. Okay. So first let's cut to this headline, this little update in the Daily Mail. And the Daily Mail is saying that Ryan Reynolds is in a desperate bid to save his image amid his wife's Blake Lively's $400 million legal battle with Justin Baldoni. So he is now concerned, and buried in this article, it tells us that insiders claim, ready, that it was Reynolds who pushed for the shock request for a gag order, because they just now are requesting a gag order. And this is a desperate bid to stave off any disruption to all of his upcoming projects and the staff at his company, because he runs a company called Maximum Effort Productions. And for the sake of his wife's well-being. Well, isn't that timely? The quotation given to the Daily Mail was, Ryan was a driving force in requesting a gag order for Justin's attorney. The insider told DailyMail.com exclusively. Ryan's production company has a lot of projects in the works right now, and Ryan would be devastated if this impacted these, as it is unfair to his coworkers and the people who work at his company. Okay, Ryan. Okay, Ryan. We're starting to see you for who you are. Rather hilariously, apparently there was some medium who went on the show, I should have dug up the clip for you guys to watch, and predicted the day before yesterday that this entire Blake Lively thing was going to shift around, and it was going to be about Ryan Reynolds. It was going to be bad for Ryan Reynolds. She told this to Drew Pinsky, and I did not know this. And when I got my tip yesterday, I just started sharing it because I was going, this is the only thing that makes sense. The person who wrote to me said that they worked on the set of It Ends With Us, okay, and that the villain in this entire story is not Blake Lively, it's not Justin Baldoni, but it is Ryan Reynolds. And now I look at him and I just go, how did I not see? Look, he puts Botox in his forehead. Of course. He's a madman. Of course. Obviously. So essentially what they said is, this is what happened. They said that you have on set these things that are called dailies, which is essentially all of the footage that was shot in one day. They said one day Ryan Reynolds comes to set. This is the backstory. Comes to set, reviews the dailies, the raw footage, whatever that was shot today, reviews the script, and then he goes into his trailer, allegedly. Don't gag order or sue me, Ryan Reynolds. Okay. I don't want to be involved in all the drama. I'm just telling my audience what I was told. He goes into Blake Lively's trailer and they have an argument. All of the production assistants overheard the argument. Okay. Now, what was at the root of that argument? We don't know, but we can assume it had something to do with what he saw in these dailies, what he read in the script. Who even knows what led him to even visit on this day? And the person says that from that day forward, he started involving himself, that he basically became a chaperone for her on set. He was there basically every day, involved in the projects, wanting to rewrite lines. And suddenly Ryan Reynolds was trying to wrangle this project from Justin Baldoni. Okay. So that is first and foremost positively fascinating, because I didn't even consider the angle that there had been some sort of a fight that took place between Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds that switched things. But it makes sense when you look at the lawsuit, because Justin Baldoni is like, we offered her an intimacy coordinator and she was not okay with it. Then suddenly in her complaint, which I am now referring to as Ryan Reynolds' complaint, she's like, there was no intimacy coordinator. And he's like, she was totally fine and joking with me about this stuff. And then all of a sudden in the complaint, she's like, why is he riffing at all? Like, we have to just stay in character at all times, which is a bizarre thing for any actor or actress to say, because riffing is a part of the job. Like, I only did drama club when I was in like 8th grade. I think I was a Munchkin in The Wizard of Oz, but even I knew that you got to riff, because you got to be able to riff. That's the whole point. Something could go wrong and you got to be able to be on your feet. So it was oddly particular for her to say he was not in character or this or whatever it was. But when you add that she was okay with everything until a certain day, it starts to make sense. So let's go through some of these elements. So the person then told me that what followed was essentially Justin Baldoni being completely sideswept by Ryan, just trying to peacock him and show him that, like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, I'm the A-lister. I am Ryan Reynolds. I have A-list friends. I'm friends with Taylor Swift. I am friends with Hugh Jackman. I'm the person that plays Deadpool. And that is when, and this person was a strong contact. So this isn't like a little bit of tea. This is like, I felt good receiving this information from another person who said that it was Ryan Reynolds who marched into WME, okay, which is Endeavor. It's also called Endeavor. It is the biggest talent agency in the world. Every celebrity is under there, from Taylor Swift to Justin Baldoni, and said, it's us or it's him. Like, you're going to drop Justin Baldoni or you're going to lose all of us. And I obviously that has a little bit of weight at Endeavor if you're friends with Taylor Swift. So here's the article of what happened next. You can see Justin Baldoni gets dropped from WME in wake of Blake Lively's sexual harassment allegations. That person is telling me that it was 100% Ryan that orchestrated that dropping, and it was an ultimatum that he delivered to their door. So Ryan felt like he won. He had Justin Baldoni, as we showed you, in the basement at his own premiere event, even though it was his movie that his production company brought the rights from. Justin Baldoni in a basement with his wife and his family, celebrating it next to Dasani water, making the best of it. And now he gets dropped. The civil complaint is filed, and Ryan is like, we won. What Ryan didn't realize, okay, or didn't calculate for, rather, was that Justin Baldoni shares that production company, Wayfarer Studios, with a guy who is a billionaire. Okay. So Taylor Swift might have influence, but money is money. Okay. And this guy made a ton of money in the 1990s. He's a very tall guy, by the way. I think Justin Baldoni is 6'2". And this guy, Steven Sarosky, is basically just living out the rest of his life trying to do good things. Right. So this is an article. He lives in Chicago, and it says the city's newest billionaire doesn't plan to die one. He does not want to die a billionaire. His plan for Steve Sarowitz and his wife is to just give away $1 billion in charity during your lifetimes. That's a lot. He's so rich that his new goal is to give away $1 billion. Like, that's what we're all aspiring to. And this guy, like I said, is just Dr. Do-Good. He has no horse in this race. He wanted to establish Wayfarer Studios to do and to bring stories to life that have really good messages. And I haven't read this book, It Ends With Us, but apparently there's a really good message. And apparently what I am told is Justin Baldoni truly is kind of one of these bleeding heart lives, as is this guy, Steve Sarosky. And they just wanted to, like, do good things. And they're like true feminists, you know, like, how can we bring stories to life that tell the story of women's struggles? Okay. Maybe not someone that would invite me over for tea, but whatever. So this guy, for no reason, because of Ryan Reynolds, gets blacklisted from Hollywood. That's how it works. When Endeavor says you're out, you're out. Okay. When Taylor Swift says you're out, you're out. I'm not saying she did, but I'm saying that I'm sure her name meant something with, like, we're going to leave, and Taylor Swift is the godmother to all of our children. And this guy's not taking that sitting down. And so what I'm hearing is that he was the one that was sort of like, hey, like, this is not okay. That all of this is happening because of the ego or because of the jealousy of Ryan Reynolds, like a small man who got jealous, came to set, got jealous, and is essentially trying to destroy the movie, trying to destroy this company, and getting an actual good company blacklisted from Hollywood using his A-list contacts. Now, here's what's fascinating. This is not the first time. When you then start recognizing that this could have been a Ryan Reynolds personality issue, that Ryan Reynolds has been accused of being controlling before. Let's remember, he dates women that are like about a decade younger than him, marries women that are younger than him. When he met Scarlett Johansson, who he was married to first, she was 20, he was 28 or 29, and then they got married, and nobody really knew why they got divorced, but the closest that Scarlett Johansson ever came to suggesting why they got divorced was for Elle magazine. When she was talking, she said this, and I'm going to show you. It says, I'm sorry, talking to Cosmopolitan, ScarJo, without naming any names, said the logistics of being with one another as an actor are challenging. There has to be a real understanding of how you share your time, especially when two people's careers are going at the same rate, or even if one person is more successful than the other, that also proves challenging. There may be a competitive thing. And the writer includes, that's all the explanation you're ever going to get from ScarJo on this one. But since she's currently with an art dealer, we assume she's not talking about her current relationship, and most likely about the 3 years that she spent married to Ryan Reynolds, who is, as you may know, an actor. Okay. So that's her speaking about her relationship, why it maybe fell apart. And when you start to realize that all of this is going on in the background with Ryan Reynolds, and he's at set every day, you start realizing just how over-involved he was in a film that had nothing to do with him.
First of all, let me just say this. Prior to this information or getting to this point, we already said that it did not make sense that her husband was involved in this film wasn't that he wasn't in. And the fact that he started involving or coming to attending meetings and requesting for the dailies, and the fact that she requested for the dailies, those that timeline did not make sense, and lots of people actually had questions. Then the other part of the jealous partner, jealous the exes and all started resurfacing, and people started putting the pieces together, and it started to make sense. And I mean, everything is becoming clearer now, because obviously, like we always say on this channel, don't ignore the patterns. The patterns would lead you somewhere, and in this case you can see the patterns. That is something you just need to take note of.
All of this is going on in the background with Ryan Reynolds, and he's at set every day. You start realizing just how over involved he was in a film that had nothing to do with him. So we knew that he had a blow up. They had a blow up. Ryan Reynolds allegedly screamed in Justin Baldoni's face at his apartment. Justin Baldoni said he was humiliated, that he had never been screamed at like that in his entire life. And despite this, Ryan Reynolds injected himself and brought his A-list friends in the form of Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, to sets to create promos, or It Ends With Us. But in this promo, he's very clearly taking a jab at Justin Baldoni. Listen to what he says.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
This is cool. It's not every day the husband gets to interview his wife's love interest in a film. It's kind of crazy.
I don't remember seeing this on the
Let's
schedule.
dive in, shall we? So I saw you posing in a photo with Mrs. Reynolds, and I'm sorry, what do you call her? Do you guys have a nickname or something? Okay, no, just so it's Mrs. Okay.
No.
It's not every day a guy gets to interview the love interest of his best friend's wife, and the guy trying to replace Ryan as a husband and me as his best mate.
Holy
What the hell are you doing messing with my best buddy's wife?
Sir, I have no idea what's happening at all today.
So I'm starting to think, you guys, now that we know, okay, think about what he is saying there. Is somebody trying to replace my best friend's husband's wife, right? My best friend's wife, okay? He's basically like shooting this with Brandon Sklenner, because that's not Justin Baldoni, but he knows Justin Baldoni is, probably 5 feet away. It's Justin Baldoni's film. And he's writing this script, and I don't think it's really a script. Okay. I think Ryan Reynolds is peacocking, bringing in an A-lister, saying, you can't say no to this. We're promoting your movie. And this is an A-list star that's willing to do it. But he's actually taking a stab at what likely went on behind the scenes here. Ryan felt, for whatever reason, intimidated about the relationship that maybe he thought was budding between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. And he's saying that in the script, and he has a distinctive pattern. Ryan Reynolds, this is his thing. He's a Taylor Swift of the movie industry. When he gets upset with somebody, he puts them into a script. And sometimes it's people that he's working with, actors on set. When he gets mad or he gets angry, he steps out of character and goes off script and uses the character to diminish the actor. How do we know this? Because TJ Miller, and they made up after this, I will say that, spoke about this on Adam Carolla's podcast. He was saying he would never work with Ryan Reynolds, basically saying he was an absolute jerk, and that they had this weird moment where Ryan Reynolds used his character Deadpool to basically strip him down in real life. Take a listen to what TJ Miller had to say.
We had a really weird moment on Deadpool where he said, let's do one more take. And everyone was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me, but to me.
Cathartic.
As if I'm Weasel.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So he was like, you know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star, but you just, you do just enough exposition that it's funny, and then we can leave and get back to the real movie.
So he's riffing. How much riffing was done?
A lot. And he's a great improviser.
And how much of it made the cut?
A lot of it. And then the stuff that they kept and you see in the reel, it's a lot of it is what he's doing. I'm riffing. Also, the writers were so incredible.
But what went south in that moment? Did you react to it?
I just kind of listened and thought it was weird. And then I got off stage because then they finally were like, cut. And then I got off stage and I walked over and the whole crew was acting weird. And then I went up to Kate and I was like, that was weird, right? And she was like, of course it was weird. It was insane. It was insane. And everybody was looking at each other like, what the is he doing?
So this is Ryan Reynolds' thing. This is how he offsets his emotion. He channels it through his characters. Like, look, think again. What did he say in that scene? Oh, it's not every day you get to interview the guy that's trying to hit on your wife or whatever it is. And he's using Brandon Sklenner, but this isn't about Brandon Sklenner. This is about how Ryan feels about Justin Baldoni. That is what I believe is happening. And you see this again. I know that we already showed you this, but I'm going to show you now because now that we have the context that Ryan was the one that was sent on a spiral because of something he saw potentially in the dailies. Again, this is all allegedly. Now rewatch that nice pool scene. While we know in the lawsuit that he included a bit about, his wife just gave birth and she was losing weight and basically making fun of the fact that Justin Baldoni is a feminist and has a feminist podcast. Now watch that nice pool scene where he decided to include a stab at Justin Baldoni.
Who are you? Oh, I'm Deadpool. And I guess you're Deadpool too. But in here, everybody calls me Nice Pool. Oh my goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too and can't even tell. I don't think you're supposed to say that. That's okay. I identify as a feminist. Right.
And there's more. There's a lot of stuff that didn't make the movie where he is more explicit in making fun of Justin Baldoni. People are noticing that he even did his hair like Justin Baldoni. The short hair that he has right now is not his usual hair. That was for the film. He usually has it up in a ponytail and it's long. So this was very much meant to be like, I am just now outwardly making fun of you and saying everything that I want to say while pretending that I'm in character or promoting even your own movie. And this pattern of him being controlling, even going from ScarJo, somebody mentioned to me, actually I think it was Brett Cooper, pointed out to me, and I shared it on my stories, that the director of Deadpool, the first director of Deadpool, is this guy named Tim Miller, and he stepped down from the job. And the quotation that he gave was essentially, according to him, the issue was Ryan Reynolds. He left the franchise because him and Ryan Reynolds could not get along, and he explicitly says, according to him, that Ryan Reynolds wanted to quote unquote control the franchise. So Ryan Reynolds has control issues, and something that happened on that set triggered him to feel that he was not in control of his relationships. Now, again, this is me speculating based off of all of the evidence and the picture that is now being painted, that basically Ryan has been on one big rant and wants to destroy Justin Baldoni. Now, I'm beginning to ask myself, because I just got contacted and I wish the show could have just been 2 hours later, but somebody else who is very connected to this reached out and said, Candace, you're 90% there. You're just missing one thing. And I'm beginning to wonder, and listen, full speculation, no proof, for him to go that crazy, did something happen between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively? That's my question. Did something happen between the two of them, and then he came to set, or maybe he saw, maybe it was just a text message. I'm not saying they had an affair. Maybe it was a text message. He was going through her phone, logged onto her computer to order some Uber. I don't know, or Uber Eats. He was just ordering some Chipotle, and he saw a flurry text come in. I don't know. And he's like, you know what? Let me go check on what's going on. Then he goes and he gets the dailies, and he sees a little bit too much chemistry, and he's starting to think, oh, you know what? That's kind of funny. That's how I start all my relationships. I am in movies, like I was with ScarJo, and then I start dating them and I marry them, and I sleep with them. And then I did this again with Blake Lively, and she's done that too. She also has a history of dating people who she co-stars with from Gossip Girl, and he just goes crazy. And maybe he starts thinking they're having an affair or something's going on, and he just goes full bore. But there's a 10% thing that this person's legend that I'm missing, and I'm going to get it. And I will have it to you guys by Monday. I'm putting the pieces together, but something happened on set. Okay. This story is now coming into focus, and Ryan Reynolds is the one that is pushing this. Ryan Reynolds is pretending that he cares now that people riff when it's all he does on the set of Deadpool. Now he's like, stick to the script, Blake Lively, no caressing, no touching. And he's essentially using this lawsuit, or attempted to use this, not even supposed to be a lawsuit, whatever he filed in LA, the complaint that he filed, as a way to just destroy a man that he's clearly extremely jealous of. I think that is very clear. He is extremely jealous of Justin Baldoni. You do not show up on set, insert yourself. I mean, how weird. I was saying to my producer, like when we were doing documentaries, how weird if like my husband showed up and just was like, I'm rewriting the entire script and I'm going to start promoting it. That doesn't register. That's not a secure man. That's an insecure man. That is a man that is spiraling, and it is plausible that Blake Lively was given an ultimatum, just like Endeavor allegedly was given an ultimatum, and she had to go along with this to save her marriage. She just had her fourth kid, I think, 4 kids, and your husband's going crazy. Maybe Blake Lively's like, I just got to go along with this to save my marriage. I don't know. And I'm also not trying to present her as a victim because she's played a part in this. And maybe it got out of her hands, it got out of her control. And now it's fully very much in the lawyer's control. And it is not going to end well, because it's already just getting worse every single day. And my understanding is that she's not kind. She's not a kind person from insiders. She has never been particularly presented as a very kind person. But I think this rage, it seems to me, that Ryan Reynolds has been on a rage since the day that he allegedly picked up those dailies, and he has not stopped. And there's something that Justin Baldoni did, or that he believes or perceives, that if he thinks his wife likes Justin Baldoni, that set him on this insecure quest. So, like I said, I will have it for you on Monday. I'm fishing it out. I'm darn close. Don't send a gag order to me, Ryan Reynolds, because I'm not going to abide by it. I just feel like just don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay. Or I'll pretend I didn't get it. I'll just jump away from the server. I'll jump into a bush. So don't do that. Just leave me alone. Okay.
Well, interestingly, in this case, maybe she unleashed her dragons in this. But obviously, like we keep saying here on this channel, and also in regards to this topic or this controversy, we've already said, don't miss the patterns, don't ignore the patterns. It will lead you somewhere. And we've already covered all of this before. Talk about jealous partner, competition, and obviously lots of things did not make sense, because talk about the dailies. Since when we're going through the lawsuit, because I made it my business to read the lawsuit, let me know, like, and I read it, and from that request of the dailies, it did not make sense. And the fact that when they or got their hands on the dailies, or she got her hands on the dailies, then the next, it became that or the next time they resumed was a lawyer. So obviously at that time, that was when something already happened. I mean, I think that was also in regards to the writer strike, right? So all those signs, those tiny bits, those are the places, or that's the point where lots of things changed. The snap, and obviously, I would say the both couples are involved in this. This is not just one person, because I mean, at this point, they know each other, they know themselves, so they know what one party can do. But again, the jealous partner, insecurity, competition, and all that, it is not hard to miss. But again, this gets messy. To me, I would just say maybe this is just an expensive joke, expensive lie that have gotten too far and is uncontrollable at this point. But let me know what you think, obviously. I'm sure tons of people have interesting things to share. I really love to share that. You can share the useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.